And we have spawning in the bottom right-hand side of the map. He is the red Terran, BYUN.
If anyone speak Korean, let us know what the translations is. Unfortunately, we don't speak Korean. I'm assuming you don't speak Korean.
Nope.
So yeah, if anyone can translate. Oh, some trash talking it seems like. But anyhow, here in the top left corner of the map, he's the blue Protoss, representing good game and gaming. Give it up for Patience. Got some nice friendly banter here. Is situations like this where I wish we had a player cam just to see their reaction or BYUN's reaction or Patient's reaction.
Yeah, that would be nice here. We have a little bit of harassment there by Patience. Doing what is expected of him. As a Protoss player, of course. Trying there to be very annoying with the Terran early on, because the Terran will eventually be very annoying himself. So just exchanging here a couple of slaps here. And yeah, we're going to be seeing a very standard opener for both of these players. And actually, BYUN is going to be going for a factory before that command center. So that's already an interesting opener. They're probably going to get some mechanical units to help with the firepower there against the Protoss early on. So we'll see, but Patience just being very, very diligent with the scout. Like, he knows that there's no command center coming on the way, so probably expecting something else. There could be some shenanigans going on, but right now everything's tucked into BYUN space. So at this point, nothing crazy under the sun.
Yeah, we do see though that Patience has hit his probe there, so we'll see if he does throw down a proxy pylon somewhere. Or if he's just chilling there just to get some fresh air. But the first adept will be making his way across the map. We do see Patience opening up with a Stargate here instead of that Twilight Cancel that he usually goes for. So we'll see if that or the first initial Oracle will be able to do some damage. But in the meantime, the adept will scout that there's no CC yet here on the low ground. Then go ahead and go up, scout what is up. Does scout the factory reactor. So I think he should immediately start preparing for the Hellion run by or drop at the very least.
Yeah, there's a medevac coming, so we'll probably see some Hellions raining from the skies. There's also an Oracle on the way from Patience. So probably there's potential there for a counterattack as well, with some air harass. But we'll see if actually this drop that BYUN is preparing is effective enough. But at this point that this it's just going to be a run-by. There are a couple of adepts here to defend, and they actually block the ramp pretty nicely. It's going to lose one of them, but now with the support of the Oracle, this is more than dealt with. So BYUN is going to have to run away from this, especially because he has two Hellions about to blow up there. And ooh, this crossing paths here, very fortunate for Patience. Probably give him enough time to react to this. And oh, almost intercepting the workers there, Patience realizes and immediately pulls back. So yeah, this is going to be cleaned up. There's quite a bit of mining time being interrupted, but now this follow-up Widow Mine drop looks interesting. One of them will manage to actually burrow. Yeah, just trying to delay the mining time at this point, because there's an Oracle there.
Now, BYUN did get the armory behind this, so these Widow Mines are going to be invisible. So it's going to be up to Patience to save up that energy on the Oracle to get the revelation off, because he's not going to have any observer anytime soon.
Once again with the burrows, connects with the Phoenix right now, but trying to go for juicier shots at this point. But just playing around really nicely with the Widow Mines. Delaying a lot of mining time here, which is, I think, the biggest loss, even getting a couple of workers there, probably not in the obscene numbers that we saw in the previous series, but still, the damage is there, and oh, this one is actually gonna reload. There we go. 7 workers down. Really nice pick off there.
Alright, Patience gonna go ahead and make use of that proxy pylon. Will be warping in some stalkers, putting on some counter pressure here. But he's gonna have to clean up these widow mines for the time being, which he does. Nice revelation there. And what do we have here for BYUN? Not a lot of here for BYUN on the ground. So it could get a bit scary in the next minute or so.
Yeah, and actually taking the risk there of picking up all of his army units in the medevac, that could have been very easily sniped there. He's actually just buying time to get that cyclone out. And I mean, the workers could help a lot, but there's a really nice snipe there with the blink forward from Patience. So Patience is doing a lot of damage here. 6 workers already going down, and the numbers keep crawling up with this attack. Very effective here by Patience. He knew that he had the counterattack advantage, and he does have that second Nexus still up. So definitely just trying to make the economic advantage just larger at this point. And yeah, this looks terrible for BYUN.
Yeah, I think BYUN is pretty much dead in the water here. It's just a matter of time before BYUN GG's out. And there's really nothing. I mean, this last tank will get a few shots, but just not quite enough. And Patience will take a game 1 victory here. A bit chaotic in the end, but I think Patience managed to, kind of manage that as well as he could, and then just go for a straight up counterattack, just outright kill BYUN. And BYUN unfortunately just didn't have anything on the ground, as he did commit to that Widow Mine drop.
Yeah, BYUN just looked pretty uncomfortable overall in the matchup. I mean, I think he tried to make something happen with that early aggression. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was not effective. And I mean, Patience had all the units. He just had to, A-move them to the other side of the map.
All right, looks like we're heading into game number 2 here. Going to be on Romanticide LE. So we'll see what both of these players has up their sleeves and how this game will unfold.
Yes, we're already in the final series. It's a best of 7. Game 1 going to the side of Patience. So let's see if BYUN can pick up the pace in game number 2.
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you do like the content we're bringing here on this channel, you like the games as well, please do consider dropping us a follow. That green follow button is right below the video player. We will definitely appreciate and happy to have you join the crew and the gang here at Alpha X. And here we go. We're about to start game number 2.
And let's go ahead and introduce our players. We have spawning in the top left-hand side of the map. In the red, we have the Terran BYUN.
And spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map, it is the blue Protoss player, representing a good game gaming. Give it up for Patience. And what do we have here? Cheeky little SCV here.
And Patience did actually go for an early scout, so he will probably spot that there's something off. But yeah, I mean, it was expected from BYUN to at some point arrive at the conclusion that maybe a proxy was a good idea. But in this case, he's only committing with 1 barracks proxy, so I don't think we will see an insane amount of Reapers, but I mean, you never know. At the end of the day, there's no other structure being built right now. So yeah, we'll see how committal this is.
Yeah, but you know what would be funny is that Patience scouts, there's no barracks here, so he's going to go ahead and go out for a scout. But imagine if BYUN actually lifts off that barracks and flows into the main base. But no, he's going to decide to just straight out just build that Reaper there. Patience knows what's up. He just went for the cybernetic core before the Nexus, which is the smart thing, because you never know what is being proxied out in your front gate. So just gonna go ahead, get that initial Zealot to help whack away at the initial Reaper as well as that bunker there. And yeah, it looks like Patience should be safe.
BYUN managing to save that worker. Barely, with very little hit points. He still has to protect it once to complete the bunker, but apparently it's just going to be a block there in the natural base, which is not a bad thing. I mean, still, there's Reaper still active. Now there's a Stalker out, but he manages to kill a couple of workers there, so that's still a nice pick off. And we actually going to have a counter proxy here by Patience, actually proxying his Stargate. So yeah, definitely the Protoss looking to do some damage himself. There are a couple of Reapers still here hitting on this Stalker, but now being fended off. Not much to do here. He did block at the end of the day, the Nexus. But I think this kind of triggered Patience a little bit. And now he wants to go do some annoying stuff of his own. He did place a pylon there, which is going to be pretty annoying. He actually has to put his barracks elsewhere. And yeah, just working on that second command center.
Yeah, I mean, this pylon actually kind of makes the possibility that Patience can actually run his Zealot inside with his Stalkers. This could actually be a bit scary here for the Red Terran. But with a Cyclone out, I think that should allow him to clean this up relatively okay. But the thing is that Oracle is about to pop out very, very soon. Actually, we're going to wait for the second Oracle before heading in there. So, we're going to give BYUN a bit more time, extra time to get the defense out to go for the anti-air.
We have Warp Gate completed as well, so there might be a situation, because there's a proxy pylon here, there might be a situation in which we have some units, not just the Oracles, but other the gateway units just running into the base, trying to add a little bit of extra pressure, especially because he knows that BYUN has delayed his natural base significantly. So it wouldn't be that bad of an idea to actually pressure with gateway units as well, and Patience just trying to use his Oracles to as much as possible. So he's actually going to be placing a stasis trap there. BYUN will probably walk through it. So yeah, I mean, I love when Protosses drop stasis traps, because you're probably expecting Oracles to swing by your base and kill a couple of workers, but then when you're walking out of your base and you get probably half your army stasis, you're like, okay, there goes my timing.
Yeah. Always a feel good to have. Oh, that's a nice catch. And now Patience with all the weapons can just get on top of these Cyclones, and that's going to be the kind of the bulk of the anti-air. And oh no, this is about to get ugly, guys. You might want to cover your eyes, as it's about to be a Cyclone massacre. Or not. They could just kite away. Unfortunately, he doesn't have blink, but he does have Oracle, so he's going to be able to target fire on these Cyclones. This Cyclone will actually get an Oracle, so it's pretty decent cash there considering the scenario.
Yeah, that was great by Patience. That was good placement, and just BYUN so triggered by it, just saying, "Oh my God, please just deliver me from this." But anyway, we're gonna see a Twilight Council coming in for Patience as well, so possibly looking into adding some more damage in the near term, some higher tech. And I mean, the Oracles are here just circling around, probably toying with the idea of going in, trying to swing through those mineral lines, but not entirely committing to it. I think even a stasis trap in the mineral line would be nice as well at this point. But yeah, just both of these players working on their macro. I think BYUN has no intention of actually walking out of his base at this point. He needs to secure that mining, and yeah, he cannot allow Patience to actually pressure him further, because he's very low on the army supply side at this point. Slowly scaling up with the production, so yeah, but he needs to go out strong. He can't just walk out with a couple of units.
Yeah, looks like he's going to go ahead and just drop that third and just macro from there. He did get the Templar Archive before the third, so he might want to look for a kind of a timing push of his own with the Warp Prism going across the map. Archon, Charge Lot, plus maybe line up with the +1 weapons attack upgrade as well. We do see BYUN smartly actually triggering some of these stasis wards and stasis traps with the one Marine, so nicely done there.
There we go. BYUN trying to walk out of his base. And he's actually going to find the proxy. So this is a nice pick-off there. That means that Patience's aggression will probably lose a little bit of steam. It's actually going to be able to depower all of these structures. But already Patience just transitioning out from this. He's actually getting Storm now. He's getting charge slots. And also adding a couple of Immortals there. So this is definitely a composition that's going to try to pack a punch against the Terran army. He knows he needs a little bit more firepower to deal with what's coming. There is a strong push making its way, but I think Storm is actually enough in to actually give him enough time. It will be a matter of just gathering energy for the High Templar and see what happens. Right now, BYUN, again, triggering the stasis traps. He knows that there was probably one there that he should have. They should definitely be on the lookout for. And actually, Patience just decided to go for Archons just because there was not enough energy there, but nice Storms, nailing almost the entirety of the bio there.
Yeah, a lot of these bio units are low in life, and not a lot of protection left over for these tanks. And then the majority of the tanks, all the tanks, get cleaned up. And I think Patience should be able to hold in the meantime, but yeah, there was such a cost-effective trade there by BYUN that I think the reinforcements coming across and streaming across the map should be able to overwhelm Patience. At the very least, maybe get this third base, but who knows, maybe another additional warpin can help clean this up. There are no medevacs here to heal this bio army, but there's just too much army supply there left over for BYUN, and he will even up the series 1-1.
Yeah, BYUN just going for a more aggressive approach there, and yeah, just putting Patience in a very high pressure spot, not allowing him to get to a comfortable kind of mid-game sort of situation. I think it definitely paid off for him.
Yeah, I mean, those initial storms are actually decent, but BYUN really quickly kind of split his army. So at least he saved a few bio army units to help defend the tanks. But it was enough for the remaining reinforcements to join up and pretty much clean up house and force the GG out of Patience.
Yeah, he minimized the damage of the storm really nicely there. Like even if sometimes you get a storm on top of you and people just kind of give up, like, oh well, it's there. But no, he microed to the very end and it actually paid off. And I think the reinforcements definitely were key there, as well as I don't know if I imagined it, but he did go for something on the main, right? Like sort of a drop of swords. I think it's on medevacs. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't catch it, but possibly.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're heading into game number 3 here on the map of Pillars of Gold. Very, very interesting that a map that's named Pillars of Gold doesn't have any gold mineral or bases. So that is kind of the Scooby-Doo mystery of this all. If anyone has any answers, maybe there are piles of gold buried underneath the ground, but I mean, I would imagine that a map called Pillars of Gold would have gold.
I mean, Golden Wall kind of like set a precedent, So I understand. But anyway, so let's go ahead and introduce our players. We have spawning in the bottom left-hand side of the map. He is the red Terran, BYUN.
And here spawning at the top right is the blue Protoss player, looking to take the 2-1 lead. Can he do it? It is Patience. And already we do see Patience being very, very concerned about any proxies. Of course, in the last game he did get proxied. Just want to make sure there's no shenanigans happening here in the early game, but luckily for him, no shenanigans, no cheeses, no proxies. BYUN's gonna go open up pretty standard here.
Yeah, once again, BYUN switching it up from game to game, which I think is an approach that works for him. a very creative player overall, I think, and really explosive as well. But we are actually going to be seeing as well a very standard opener by Patience, just something very safe. But we'll see if he actually goes for maybe some of like the Blink Stalker that he was going at some point against Stream, or if he'll go for Stargate once again, which has also been proven to be effective. But I think BYUN had quite an easier time dealing with that in game number 2. So we'll see how these players approach. But actually, BYUN also looking for some proxies around his third base outside of his natural. So also expecting probably a little bit of revenge from Patience, but not getting any in this case.
Yeah, now I would say that probably Stargate openings against BYUN is probably not the best thing, only because of the playstyle. I think, BYUN being such an aggressive type player, when you go for a Stargate opening, you're not going to have a lot of on the ground, and usually BYUN likes to do those pushes. And if you're not going to have a lot on the ground to defend against those pushes, not able to hold the defense, then it gets pretty much like the last game where BYUN just outright wins. So yeah, I don't think Patience should want to go for Stargate too much in this opening or in this series. But as I say that, there is the caster curse, and he is going to plot down and go for that Stargate once again. Hopefully, it turns out a bit better this time. We shall see.
Indeed, we shall see. And he's not actually open with an Oracle, so we are going to have some Oracle harass coming up. I would like, however, Patience to be a little bit more active with his Oracles. I think he's using them pretty defensively at this point. And maybe trying to find economic damage would prove fruitful at some point. But BYUN is actually anticipating this really nicely and placing some Widow Mines around his mineral lines. So yeah, just expecting the opener at this point. I think there's no reason for him to probably assume that Patience would do any big switch up from one game to the next. So just playing it really safe, defending himself from whatever harassment might come. And here comes the Overload, so let's see if that manages to do any damage at this point.
Alright, looks like Orko will take 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs. Can we get a 4th? Looks like 3 SCVs total, so pretty okay here considering he didn't scout that, or didn't have any Widow Mines in the natural. But looks like BYUN's gonna go for a counter pressure here at the main base of Patience. We'll take that. Oh, actually takes down both Phoenixes. Really nicely targeted there.
Yeah, that was a really good pickup by BYUN, taking some expensive units there and actually managing to save the medevac with the Marines. So this is really nice for the Terran right now, actually managing to do a decent amount of damage there with 8 workers lost by Patience. So Patience just trying to go for that third Nexus right now, shake off the blow that he just received, and yeah, trying to drop Revelation there. He wants to keep tabs on that medevac for as long as possible, just to make sure that little scout doesn't happen again, but actually manages to slip by BYUN just slightly a little bit out of range of that. But yeah, I mean, Patience at this point kind of starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. But yeah, BYUN possibly preparing for a second attack very soon.
Yeah, we've known kind of the history of BYUN. He should be going for a follow-up, whether it is a big timing push or whether it is a two-prong, maybe a drop into the main and then attack onto the dirt base. But either way, I would say that once Stim is finished, as well as the +1, he should be moving out and go on the offense here. They're going to be lining up pretty nicely. But on the other hand, we do see Patience researching Blink, so going back to his bread and butter, throwing down that shield battery that he is anticipating and expecting this push to come on soon. And here we go.
Yeah, this army was revealed for the most part as it was making its way to the other side of the map, and now we have some scouting adepts for Patience. He actually confirms that the army might not be there, but there's a rotation coming in for BYUN, looking for a better angle here, but he does actually drop an auto turret here in the base, which is really nice. He drops a second one as well, so this is going to take a few more workers, and actually now engaging these Protoss forces, but really nice force fields there by Patience, zoning out a lot of the army and actually forcing their a pickup from BYUN. So this was a really nice defense. The shield batteries definitely helped there to keep those units alive. So just Patience managing this fairly well. I think there was a lot of, more damage probably being done in the main than BYUN expected with the push itself. So at this point, a really solid position for both of these players. Blink is almost being done, plus +1 as well. So just really nice timing here. BYUN still trying to make something happen, but very committed to 2 bases at this point.
Yeah, has yet to get that third CC established there, but looks like BYUN's gonna go ahead and get on top of this gateway force. A lot of the energy has been gone here for these shield batteries, and the pros being pulled here. And oh man, this is what I am talking about. BYUN's timing pushes are just so good.
Yeah, that was an amazing engagement. Actually targeting the sentries fairly quickly, just getting rid of those force fields, and yeah, just engaging really boldly into that 3rd base. A lot of workers were lost there, and I mean there was not much to back it up. Just really nice all-inish kind of move there from BYUN.
Yeah, looks like the game set on the channel is needs to be fixed here. Let me go ahead and try to get that fixed. In the meantime, we should get our next game started here. Oh, Jagannatha. I think this is... Wait, is this the... Did we play this on this before? I don't remember. Oh, wait, actually we might have played this on this once today, earlier.
Yeah, definitely did. The long and winding map.
Alright, let me go ahead and update this. I think StarCraft 2. Let's go ahead and update that. I didn't know there was a game called Chit Chat, but anyhow, yeah. Anyhow, that should be fixed. And let's head into game number 4 here. BYUN is enjoying a 2-1 lead. This is a best of 7 though, so first player to 4 wins will win the series.
But now let's go ahead and introduce our players. So we have spawning in the top right-hand side of the map, Jagannatha. He is the red Terran, BYUN.
And here, spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, he's the blue Protoss, playing for a good game gaming. He is Patience.
I think BYUN just does not want to play a game for more than 10 minutes. They are finishing stuff off pretty nicely, pretty early as well. So definitely, maybe this is obviously just speculation. We have no idea exactly what's going on, but maybe starting to run a little bit low on stamina, just trying to make sure that this doesn't run into a really long game. Patience does have late game potential, so yeah, just trying to keep the game short and sweet. And actually, Patience is going for a very diligent scout there on the top right hand side of his main base. So top left hand side, sorry, of his main base. So yeah, just anticipating proxies, but not finding any at this point. I think BYUN will probably be safer with timing pushes as opposed to with high stakes, really risky moves.
Sushi saying that BYUN has TSL tomorrow morning, so maybe he wants to end the series a bit quicker because of that, or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
By the way, if you guys not sure what TSL stands for, it's the Team Liquid Star League that's happening right now. I think they're in basically the round of 32 and the round of 16 or so. It's a double elimination, so or at least starting in the round of 16. So, you know, we shall see how that unfolds, but definitely want to check them out. They have some great games there.
Very nice harassment there from BYUN, taking one of the workers. Just very active with the Reaper, generally, which I enjoy.
Yeah, I think that's trying to live up to his name. You know, you wanna be the Reaper of Patience nightmares. But you know what? Takes 2 probes out. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And BYUN just with the follow-up, getting an extra barracks there for extra supply, and it's actually gonna build a very early 3rd command center. So I think just going for the 3rd command center approach, trying to get that economic lead early. And we did see Patience open up with a Sentry once again, so just trying to probably do some Hallow Scouts very soon. We do have right now defense mounted there from Patience on both of these bases. He doesn't want that Reaper to get into that base anymore, so just doing a little bit of coverage there. And there goes the Hallow Scout. So he's going to be able to see basically what the opener of BYUN is doing. So nothing very different from what we've seen previously, but probably anticipating more aggression, as it has been very, very effective for BYUN.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really important scouting those 3 barracks. So he should at least delay the 3rd Nexus and get a bit more units army in his army. But there's also the possibility of getting that 3rd Nexus at the standard time and just throwing down some shield batteries to help defend. So we shall see what Patience elects to go for. But at the very least, he should anticipate that there might be a bow push that might be coming very soon.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see a Dark Shrine as well from Patience. So those CTs for the Protoss definitely have proved useful throughout the game. We are going to have a War Prism as well. So we have a Patience that is probably trying to pick up the pace in this next game. Maybe adding a little bit more aggression, which I think is very necessary against BYUN, because his attention is usually very split between different fronts all at once. So if you can add a little bit of extra pressure to that, maybe we can find a breaking point here. So Blink is about to complete there, so we are going to have Blink potential from Patience to deal with those drops. So just really nice setup here from the Protoss overall.
Yeah, I've actually had to wonder why Patience elected to go for Dark Shrine, because he did scout the early 3rd CC. So, you know, the idea is that with the 3rd early CC that you have a bit more energy to scan. So that kind of really go against what, you know, DT plays. So I would love, you know, imagine if we had an interview with Patience. Love to kind of see his explanation of why he went for the DTs. But anyhow, it's going to definitely pay off that there is no turret here in the main base.
Yeah, he's actually going to interrupt quite a bit of mining time. They're forcing BYUN to oversaturate his natural. And Patience just with really nice War Prism control there, trying to pick up his DTs. And he's actually going to get that cancel on that turret. And in the meantime, he's actually trying also to push the 3rd base location. But at this point, BYUN with kind of a hard time here mining, which is, I think, what Patience was trying to do with all of this. Once again, Patience trying to pressure that 3rd base. But right now, BYUN fending off really nicely here with the Marauders. And yeah, Patience just retreats. I think he did the damage that he was expecting to do. And just transitioning out of this, he's actually going to get a Thermal Lance. There's already Colossus on the way as well. There's more sentries being added up to the Protoss army. So we're going to see the heavy hitters of the Golden Armada come in very, very soon.
Yeah, throwing down those 2 forges, it should be able to also, you know, get those crucial upgrades there. Looks like BYUN's gonna go ahead and go for a 3 medevac drop. What do we have here in the main base? Not a lot. He is throwing down a shield battery. He might be anticipating this, but there is no army here. Oh, actually, you know what? The StarCraft has moved across to the main base. Oh man, BYUN's gonna have to back out here unless he wants to lose all his medevacs.
Opting to go for that pylon instead, as to not overcommit that drop. But I do like the presence that Patience has on the map, especially on the right-hand side. There's quite a few units there to spot any movement. And this engagement looks really interesting for both of these players. There is a medevac being sniped, but just BYUN trying to get as many stalkers as possible with those bio units. And actually now moving forward, trying to get more damage done there. But I think the main force on the middle of the map was the one that was trying to do the damage here. He's actually going to go seek the support of the medevacs, and he's going to prepare another drop. So already anticipating an attack, leaving some units behind. But yeah, this drop could actually be pretty devastating if it hits at the right time. It's getting for the third base, so definitely potential for some damage here. There's not much defense at this point. And Patience is going to try and push himself. He's going to try to be a little bit more aggressive, but actually is forced to recall there. I think he was expecting this movement to happen. He actually spots it with one of the units that he has around the map. And ooh, really nice snipe. Amazing snipe.
Oh yeah, that is some juicy pickoffs there by Patience. Now he is sitting pretty. I mean, he's got the fourth base. He's got pretty much even worker supply. And now, he can just go across the map if he wants to. He does have the better army. He's got 3 Colossus. I would like to see him kind of mix additional tanker units, like maybe some charge lot or maybe some extra sentries for force fields. But in the meantime, we do see that there is a charge lot run by that will be able to get the cancel there on the CC. Nice pickoff.
Yeah, and he's actually picking up some of them with the War Prism, probably saving them for later. But yeah, I like that he actually took the location with still a couple of Zealots there. So just staying very present, he could probably go in once again and try to swing at that fourth base location. And here we go, we have big engagement in the middle of the map. Nice disruptor shot there, zoning out the bio. So for now, BYUN will just have to just whisk away at this point. He can't engage that army just like that. He needs a little bit more tactical units, possibly adding up some Ghosts into the mix will also be beneficial at this point.
Yeah, maybe even some Vikings, because Patience has gone for some Colossus, so he's gonna definitely need some Vikings to help clean that up. But someone like BYUN, he's historically have been able to kind of deal with Colossus with just Marine Marauder, but not like against that with the Disruptors. The Disruptor gets a nice little hit there, gets some of that bow units there at the front line. But yeah, Patience though, he surprisingly is actually quite behind on the army supply. He's definitely going to need some additional weapons. Oh, that DT does gets the vision on that drop there. But yeah, you can see Patience going crazy on the expansions, expanding left and right. Now the thing about that is that yeah, it's good because you can spread your wings and get some additional economy running, but at the same time that kind of you gotta have to split your army a bit better, as the Bao army is a bit more mobile. It can attack at different fronts. So here we go.
Yeah, this is a big engagement here, and actually BYUN managing this fairly well at this point, getting a lot of the disruptors, but now Patience being able to clean this up. But we also have an attack on the bottom hand side of the map, and this could do a lot of damage here, actually targeting down the Colossus, but really nice defensive warp in there. These are going to be more than enough stalkers to deal with this. We also had a little bit of action on the top, but just Patience on top of every single thing going on here, and actually preparing for a counterattack himself.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be careful though, because this is a really wide open map. It's very easy for the Bao to get on top of the Colossus and snipe them out. If you don't have enough buffers underneath the Colossus, then those Colossus can go down really quickly. But yeah, it looks like BYUN is gonna go ahead and potentially push. Nope, he's actually gonna go ahead and back out.
I think overcommitting here could be very risky at this point, especially because he knew that Patience was on the other side of the map, or at least very close to his expansions. So he could have exposed himself to a counter, but now it's Patience who is in hot pursuit of these enemy units, and he's actually going to be able to clear up a lot of these marauders here, and actually one of the Colossus barely making it there. But we have a very interesting warp in there in the main base going on there with that warp prism now beyond managing to actually clean this up. But yeah, Patience a lot more present in the map in this game.
Yeah, he's a bit more aggressive here at the at least for the past minute or so. He's doing the warp-ins. Oh, actually does have that warp prism sniped out. That's actually a huge pick off there for BYUN, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He can just go ahead and focus on this attack here, reclaim his base, and possibly go for a drop or so.
And BYUN is feeling
Oh.
emboldened right now. He's going to actually go for a counter attack. He's crossing on the other side of the map. He's already knocking at Patience's front door at this point. And there we go. This Nexus is pretty much exposed. Probably will be able to snipe it before the recall comes in, but he has to stem forward real fast, and he actually goes ahead. There's only Stalkers here, so all those Stalkers are receiving a lot of damage from those Widow Mines, which BYUN actually very conveniently left at the back of his army. So really nicely done here by the Terran, sniping that Nexus, getting a lot of damage done there. Still, the Widow Mines just being so annoying at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta wonder, how is BYUN doing this? How is he facing up against a Colossus army with just pure MMM? I mean, this is insane. I mean, BYUN, you know, with his great micro, his great multitasking, his great harassment, just managing to kind of make this work. I would say that Patience still in the lead. He still has 5 Colossus, not 3, not 4, but 5 Colossus. That's going to be a lot of lasers going down on that Bao army. So BYUN is definitely going to have to at least get some additional, or add in some additional units, whether it's maybe Liberators or some additional Vikings, or maybe he can just try to, you know, out APM the Protoss here.
BYUN scans, he sees that the Zealots are coming in, and they're coming in from all sides at this point. Really nice around there by Patience, but these Zealots just not doing much. We have an attempt of a surround there by Patience, which is actually pretty good. He manages to target some of the medevacs here, and a really nice placement there by the Colossus, just raining from the low ground.
Oh man, Grizzly, I'm worried about BYUN. He's just sticking with just MMM, and I mean, he is trying to make this work, but the Colossus still there at the backside. Oh boy.
Yeah, this does not look good for the Terran. He's actually losing a lot of units, and the medevacs are low on energy, starting to get there. And there's a lot of bio on the red and yellow as well. So this counterattack could be very dangerous. The 4th base is very much exposed. All of these workers are probably going to go down, and not most of them. So yeah, BYUN trying to gather some units on the left-hand side, but I mean, in the meantime, this command center is not going to make it. So that's a nice pick-off there from Patience, who is just continuing to do more damage as BYUN kind of places himself quite a bit out of position, but yet he needs to do damage, and he knows that, so it's a hard choice to make.
Yeah, I think BYUN is kind of just down in every aspect. Only thing that BYUN really has in favor is the upgrades. He's in sitting at 3-2 against 2-2, but the quantity and quality of the army of Patience is just greater. And now look at all those lasers are raining upon those Bao units. Yeah, BYUN trying to do his best, and actually, you know, he's doing okay, but there's just still so much Colossus left over. More reinforcement come here for the Protoss, and BYUN is forced to tap out. GG, Patience wins game number 4.
Patience tying it up once again. I mean, this was gonna be a close one right from the very beginning. Yeah, this is not gonna be easy for BYUN. But yeah, there's still quite a bit of tricks up BYUN's sleeve that he could use to probably swing this once again in his favor. But we'll see. Patience looks really solid overall, just playing a really tight defense, and then just going for a great macro and usually very cost-effective trades there.
Yeah. Boy, Pansy in the chat saying, laugh out loud, refusal to go of Vikings or Liberators. And I agree, man. BYUN, I mean, he has made, pure MMM work against Colossus Army, but I mean, it would be so much easier to go up against that army if you added something besides just, pure Marine, Marauder, and Marines. I mean, Medevac, Marine, and Marauders. I mean, Liberator or maybe Vikings, something to deal with it, especially since Patience gone up to so high in Colossus numbers. You usually see Protoss stick at 3 to 4 Colossus, not go up to like 5, 6 Colossus. So I think Patience realizing that BYUN was kind of being stubborn there, he smartly actually added in that those additional Colossus. So just was too much for BYUN to handle.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. I wonder if he's pushing Bio too hard at this point, because I do think he needs the extra support. Like, even if it's not with the army itself, but just we have not seen any Liberator harass. And I think that with the way in which Patience has actually managed the whole Widowmine drop deal here, yeah, I think the switch up should be there, and just ways to try to do more damage. I really liked variations with auto turrets and the Raven. I think there's a lot of potential there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if BYUN can break him.
Yeah, looks like we're heading into game number 5 here on Oxide LE. And we're going to go ahead and see who can take the series lead here.
And here we go, guys. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side position of the map, Oxide. He is the red Terran, BYUN.
And spawning here at the top right side, he's the blue Protoss, playing for Good Game Gaming, hailing from Korea. Give it up for Patience. So, score is tied 2-2, so essentially we're now down to a best of 3 series. One of these players will have to win 2 out of the 3 games in order to claim a victory. And yeah, it's been pretty much an even battle here. We still see pretty much a standard opening by both players, nothing too crazy.
There's an interesting movement pattern here from BYUN, but I think he was just probably taking the long way around, and he's actually going to go for an engineering block once again. So yeah, this is going to be annoying for Patience to deal with. Let's see if he targets the worker a little bit better than he did last time. He definitely needs to reduce the amount of hit points that engineering bay will stand with. But at this point, BYUN doing a really nice job there, trying to micro the best as best as possible to get that engineering bay. It's a decent block there. So nicely done there by BYUN. He's actually going to go once more with a factory before expansion, which means we'll probably see some factory units in production, maybe Widowmines, maybe some Hellions even, to do a little bit of damage to the mineral lines. So just BYUN gearing up once again, very aggressive stance at this point against the Protoss, but we'll see how committal this is. This could be, this might as well have him probably standing on one base for too long. But yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I feel like BYUN is kind of the one that really made engineering block on the Protoss opponent's natural kind of a bit more common. Kind of similar to how Zest back in the day made Glaive Adepts timing against Zergs very into the meta. I think I've seen a lot more Terran players go across the map with their early in the game with their SCV just to block it. Kind of annoy the Protoss, kind of throw off their game, their build order. And we do see that Patience has gone straight into the Stargate. Gonna actually make Phoenix this time instead of Oracle. So we'll see how these Phoenixes pay off for Patience.
Yeah, that would be very interesting to see a little bit of swinging by with the Phoenix, and we're actually going to see a second one here. So yeah, maybe increasing the harassment with Phoenixes, or even just using them as a tactical unit to pick up units that are important in the Terran army, could also be quite fruitful at this point. But yeah, just both of these players setting up. We have mine production already on the way for BYUN. So we will see some Widow Mine drops active on the map as well. And right now what he's trying to do is just take a little bit more of control of the map here, but really nice block there by Patience. Not going to be able to walk into that base, and actually one of the Hellions gets picked up there. So really nice snipes there from Patience, just getting rid of these harassment units, and this kind of hinders a little bit of the momentum that BYUN had with his initial harass. He's going to have to wait for some units to pop out. He doesn't have that much defense, but he actually decides to keep his Widow Mines in the base, which is actually a good call at this point, considering the amount of Phoenixes that we're starting to see on the map.
Yeah, and look at this. Patience smartly spreading his Phoenix here, anticipating that Widowmine drop, because usually that's kind of the follow-up with the Hellions is a Widowmine drop. So making sure he's got full vision of any incoming drops here. But like you mentioned, BYUN has actually decided to stick it at home, just play it safe. And so far, cleaning up, basically not suffering any damage from those Hellions. Going to be a great start here for Patience, and I think he should just go ahead and start getting that third base here. Looks like he's actually going to transition a little bit to robotics facility for the meantime, but finally he does throw down that third nexus.
Yeah, Patience just expanding at this point, securing that base. He knows that at least for the time being, there are no major threats out on the map for him. He has a really nice setup right now with the defense, and he's just building up. He's going to get that tech to get up to Colossus, which has been very helpful at this point. And now we see a little bit of Viking production there for BYUN. So apparently he's starting to realize that maybe having some Vikings in the mix is not that bad, especially in dealing with Colossus. I think he's had a hard time just walking his bio up to the Protoss army, and he's actually working on a third base himself. So already setting himself up to ramp up that production, get to a more mid-game kind of composition at this point, adding an extra barracks as well for bio production. So yeah, just both of these players macroing it real hard. Just getting those units, and we'll see. We'll probably have a strong push here coming from BYUN. I think the timing pushes have also been very effective for the Terran, so we'll see. He actually scans. There's some Phoenix that's swinging by as well. So yeah, you have to kind of like decide, do you want to like stay and defend, or you want to go and attack yourself? So in this case, BYUN just crossing the map this one.
Alright, siege tanks are siege here. We'll get on top of the shield batteries, which actually it's going to be pretty good. His focus fires on it, really takes it out really quickly. And wow, this is starting off pretty good here. Phoenixes are... Wait, where are the Phoenixes? Are they heading back? Oh wait, no, they did get recalled actually here. But they ran out of energy. They were lifting up all these SCVs and Marines back at the Terran base. And now they got enough, just barely enough to lift up the first two tanks. But the cooldown has gone down, and now BYUN is heading straight on top of this dirt base, takes out the Colossus, takes out the majority of the Phoenix, and all Patience has left is just a couple of Stalkers.
This looks so grim for Patience, trying to buy some time to get more units out. Their Colossus is already on the way. Thermal Lance is also very close to coming by. But I mean, the defense here from Patience starts to dwindle a little bit in that third base. He is getting some Zealots to help out buffer some of the damage, getting also some extra Stalkers, and apparently he's managed to hold this off enough time to actually get the Colossus out. But the tank is still hitting pretty hard, but I think he's going to be able to clean this up no problem. At least it was better than the last time that they actually had to deal with this from BYUN. So really nicely there by Patience, just defending really well.
Yeah, looked pretty scary. I mean, imagine if BYUN just pulled all his SCVs. I think that third base of Patience would definitely have gone down. But hindsight is 20/20, and now Patience is going to go ahead and put some pressure here onto this third. We'll force the evacuation of these mules and SCVs. And BYUN is gonna probably lift up, or maybe he's gonna go ahead and reestablish. I was wondering if he's gonna actually, commit to this third base or just go for the other third base. But oh man, SCV is being pulled, and so much damage here done by these few couple of Protoss units.
Yeah, this is such a good engagement for Patience. I mean, the longer he can stay here just pressuring, the better it is for him. I mean, BYUN is still trading. There's another Colossus coming in, and that tank is not on siege mode, so it's not going to do as much damage as it could. There is a Viking here, but there's more Stalkers coming in for Patience. So I think Patience has a really nice footing at this point on the third base location. He's going to try to swing by once again and try to pack some extra damage. There are a couple of SCVs here, and BYUN is going to have to probably forfeit this location, at least for the time being. He does need to buy some time for more units to come in, and he actually does have now a tank, so this is going to help with the defense a lot. But I think the damage here is done, just Patience securing his third base, and actually just not allowing BYUN to secure his zone, which is always nice, always convenient.
Oh god, these SCVs are so red in life. Finally takes out the Colossus. Way to go, Vikings. But like you said, I think the damage has been done. But surprisingly, despite all those SCVs going down and how long that attack has gone on for, I think BYUN is actually still in a great position. He does got 56 workers compared to the 58, so pretty much even. You add in those meals, he should be a little bit ahead. But the main thing is that he's on 1-1 upgrade, and you know what? Patience has even just started his 1-1 upgrade, so he's not gonna have that for quite a long time. Now BYUN's got to be careful. He's thinking about attacking, but he doesn't have any medevacs yet, so I would like him just to wait a little bit for the medevacs. But at the same time, he does have the upgrade advantage, so maybe this could be his attack timing.
Yeah, here we go once again, trying to attack into these Protoss forces. He's actually managing to push back a little bit, but there's a lot of Colossus here. There's not much medevac support. There's only one that just arrived there, and he's actually going to change. He's going to change flanks at this point, attempting there to go for a drop, but there is an observer very well positioned there next to his base. So already anticipating this movement, catching it as it happens. So this is a really nice scout there from Patience. Definitely very, very convenient having that that observer there.
Yeah, that pervy observer will be able to spot the move out here. And looks like BYUN has spotted it. We'll take it out. So very well done there. Alright, looks like the game has kind of stabilized. A bit crazy in the past minute or two, but suddenly things has calmed down a bit. BYUN's still looking for some drop damage, but these proxy pylons as well as the observer placement are just paying off really well for the blue Protoss.
Yeah, Patience with really nice map presence there along the middle. I think he's been able to spot every single thing that BYUN has been trying to throw at him, and I think that was a really nice switch up from what we saw in the last few games, where he was a little bit shy with actually taking control of the map, and now he's actually doing that. And we do see a great force there moving for BYUN, but is actually going to be spotted as well by a Zealot. So this is exactly what I was talking about, just with really nice coverage of the map, making sure that he has a vision on all available pathways for attack. And this could actually set up Patience for, at some point, actually finding BYUN out of position. And that's what he's trying to do here with both of these Protoss armies, just moving around the mid-section of the map, just trying to find where the Terran army is actually committing to, so that he can go and maybe swing with a different army. So I like this position from Patience. We'll see if he can actually capitalize on it.
Oh man, Patience not able to really engage, as half his army is actually split. Now finally joins up with the main army, but the tanks has been sieged up. This fourth Nexus will have to be let go. He is going to start another Nexus here down at near the main base or so, but BYUN does at least take the one at the left side. And let's see if Patience wants to engage here. There is a huge concave here for the Terran though, so Patience definitely doesn't want to engage right here out in the open. Oh boy. Pretty scary here.
Yeah, this is not a position where the Protoss would like to engage in. I think looking for a different flank might be the right call. And he was trying to catch BYUN off the siege position, and he actually just very boldly steps forward, snipes one Colossus, and actually just moving forward once again, trying to get as many Colossus as possible. There's some Archons here to support, but he is coming now, trying to siege forward, and he does have also a couple of ghosts here that are going to help with the EMPs. So I really like this engagement from BYUN, just being really aggressive, really assertive as well with his units, and just not afraid at all to face the lasers head on.
Yeah, that was huge there. BYUN taking down the heavy, dealing damage, the high value army there, the army with the Colossus and the Archons, and BYUN takes the win in the fight and also the win in the game. So looks like BYUN will head into a game number 6 with a 3-2 lead. Really well done there. A really great back and forth game.
Yeah, for sure. BYUN just trading really well, and I think despite the fact that Patience had really good defense at the end of the day, BYUN just traded better, and that tank positioning definitely helping out a lot. I love how just BYUN charges forward into Colossus. I think, yeah, this man is brave. This man is brave.
I know, right? I mean, for in an alternative parallel universe, I mean, he would have been signed to Brave Star Gaming, because that man is really, really brave against those Colossus, getting on top of them, even though there are Archons underneath it. So, but you know what? He did add in some other units besides the MMM. In the early game it was Vikings, but in the later game he did transition or add in some tanks. So at the very least he has something besides just, you know, plain bio units, and that really helped him during the fight.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely adding some more tactical units helps, especially in engagements. I think just having the backup, having the safety of bigger, tankier, heavy-hitting units definitely swings the balance in BYUN's favor. And I think the more he does this, the more he adds Vikings, the better off he is. I mean, he can already just charge into Colossus, so I mean, he may as well just add a couple of extra hitting units there with the Vikings, and yeah, that seals the deal. Easy.
All right, let's go ahead and introduce our players for potentially the last time. We'll see. But anyhow, here we go.
Here we go, guys. Spawning in the top left-hand side of Death Aura, he is the red Terran, BYUN.
And here, spawning at the bottom right, he is the blue Protoss, looking to even up the series, even up the score, and push it to a decisive game 7. Can he do it? It is Patience. Alright, looks like Bitterwood in the chat, rooting for BYUN. Do we have anyone rooting for Patience? I know BYUN is a fan favorite, but Patience has been playing for a long, long time. We'll see if anyone is rooting for Patience.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's an institution at this point. There's enough said, I guess, with that. But anyway, we have quite a bit of banter going on in the chat, but we also have a bit of scouting there. So just Patience arriving just at the right time to tickle some of the SCVs, get a little bit of giggles in there going on. This is a nice game that everyone enjoys. We're all having fun here. Just fun and games, guys. But yeah, we're going to see probably a very standard opener from both of these players. BYUN actually looking to take that command center. Patience doing his work, actually blocking it. So this time we're going to see command center before factory. So yeah, I mean, factory openers have been very strong for BYUN, but always switching it up, not staying with the same strategy for 2 games in a row. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this plays along for BYUN. I mean, there's potential, as you said, for this to be the match point for him. So he's probably feeling confident, but still, he had to take care of the victory though.
Yeah, usually in the past when we've seen BYUN go for the factory, he did open up with the Marine. This time around he's going to open up with the Reaper. I like it for this map because Death Aura has a really, really kind of a wide surface area here on the main base for the Reaper to kind of jump in and out of. And it looks like Reaper will be gonna go ahead and back out as he sees that Stalker. Oh, we see a supporter here for Patience in the chat. So so at least we see some people rooting for him. But I think look like the majority of the viewers are rooting for BYUN.
And there it is, BYUN showing off for the fans, but Patience shutting it down with a nice force field there. Like he actually used the force field just to rain on BYUN's parade. Definitely losing those 2-3 workers at the beginning has been annoying for Patience. It's not, it's suboptimal at the end of the day, so definitely doesn't want to lose those. So yeah, I think very much worth. I mean, at the end of the day, you can recover energy. But recovering workers is quite a bit harder than that.
Alright, looks like Patience going back to the Blink play, the Blink opener. Now, he does have the hallucinated, or the sentry for the hallucinated Phoenix or Oracle. So he should be able to, kind of send that over and scout what BYUN is going for. But also, that kind of serves as a kind of a high ground vision for in case Patience wants to go for a blink up into the main base. Now he is making an observer, but if you can get the if your observer does get sniped off, at least you have the sentry to kind of provide you a high ground vision for those stalkers to potentially blink up.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna have also some responses from BYUN, just mounting up his defense probably in the base, also preparing for what might be a push really soon. And he's actually switching there with the tech lab. He's going to go ahead and get Stim, which he needs at this point. It's important for the bio to have that nice little upgrade there. He's actually setting up turrets as well in the mineral line, so definitely expecting something going on there, maybe some Stargate action, maybe even DTs. But at this point, for Patience, he's just going for heavy on the gateway units. So probably also preparing for a push himself. Yeah, this drop here has been able to see quite a bit of what's going on in Patience space. I mean, he can't move it at this point because there are already stalkers set up to deal with it. But he can keep it here, and at least this will probably deter Patience to move out with everything, just for the risk of exposing his mineral lines too much.
Yeah. All right. Looks like BYUN might be moving out with these Marine force here. Now it would be nice if he can kind of put on some pressure here at the third nexus, and then kind of drop in while the attention of Patience is focused on that. But I think Patience with the observer there, I mean, he's kind of has his eye out on that. You kind of have to babysit your mini map for that. So sometimes it gets a little annoying. You want to kind of clear it out. But for the time being, he is going to have to at least keep his eye out on the mini map, because he doesn't really have any Phoenixes or anything to snipe that medevac out.
Yeah, this is going to be a matter of just trying to hold on to BYUN from actually pushing, and Patience is trying to do that with the stalkers, but there is a drop being prepared here. Remember, BYUN won't go for just a single flank. He'll probably try to do a multi-pronged assault. He does have that Widow Mine drop still pretty much loaded up. He does have some extra units coming in through medevacs as well in the middle of the map. So just trying to gather a sizable army there, and just trying to force Patience to eventually kind of try to push forward, push back this, so that he can go in for the Widow Mine drop. But still, Patience just keeping his stalkers in the back of the bases and trying to engage with this army, which is not a bad army at all. He does have quite a few force fields there that he can use. He does have the support of the Colossus as well. So yeah, it's going to be kind of tricky for BYUN to break this position. I think Patience is really well prepared for this.
Yeah, he's got like his army split well there, but then also, I mean, Patience doesn't really have a lot of vision on the very outskirts, on the sides. Doesn't have any proxy pylons or any observers, so it's going to be in the dark there. So there's a potential path for BYUN to drop, but in the meantime, Patience is going to go ahead and go on the offense as he's sending his all his army to the third base of BYUN. BYUN doesn't really have much here, and will probably lose a lot of these SCVs, or at the very least lose that command center, which is a huge pickoff there. But in the same time, the drop has gone into the main base, and we do see that the Widowmine drop in the natural sitting, but doesn't quite burrow in time, giving Patience enough time to evacuate those pros. But the main thing here is at the natural of the Terran. Grizzly, I don't think Patience or BYUN can clean this up. This is a very scary army.
Yeah, this is starting to look a little bit sad for BYUN. I mean, he committed a lot to that drop. He's trying to push here very valiantly against these forces, and he might be able to clean this up. There are quite a bit of marauders here. There are still bio units. It actually gets the game in BYUN. Damn, the commitment.
Oh my goodness. I think Patience did not protect his Colossus well enough.